friends, welcome back. Jess Christina here, and I know it's been a while since we've done a video, so I do apologize for that. It's been very busy around here lately, getting everything pushed out from winter and spring cleaning and getting the animals set up and taken care of. It's quite a chore, but it's something we enjoy doing, and these videos are also something I enjoy doing and sharing with you, so I apologize it's been a while, but let's get right back into it and keep up on it so we can continue to document this information, shall we? This particular pamphlet is called How Read is the National Council of Churches? Read the facts inside and draw your own conclusions. So this particular pamphlet is put together. Now, okay, remember, I'm invoking the rights of fair use to share this with you, and I don't make any money off of this. This is just something I enjoy doing for the sake of education, so we can collectively learn from each other and get the bigger picture of what's actually going on and what has been going on for decades. So this pamphlet was published in 1966, and it includes a roster of members of the National Council leaders who have aided the communist cause. And there are several members of the church, whatever respective clergy they're affiliated with, whether they're bishops or pastors or fathers or priests or what have you, because there's lots of different churches involved. This names names. Okay, this document names names, but it is not a complete list. What it does is it compartmentalizes different areas in which these churches have in one way or another supported the communist regime, and it even goes on to say that the leader of the National Council of Churches openly admits that there are several clergymen who openly preach on their pulpits the agenda of communism to their flock. And I don't believe that that is right. I don't believe that that is fair or should be done, because America is not a communist nation. You know, we don't have that capability of upholding all these things that people think would be great if they were free. So ultimately somebody has to pay for it. And right now, our nation is already burdened with these overbearing costs of healthcare, right? But somebody has to pay for them, and that's part of our taxes. So if you consider going to the doctor for every cut, scrape, bruise, bloody nose, whatever, then it's going to be a lot more full when you go there. It's going to be a lot more burdening, but you're also going to get a little bit less quality of care, I believe, because let's say your doctor has a free education. Well, C's get degrees, right? Do you want the C- guy operating on your heart? And he's not going to get paid any different for it, if whatever, because his salary just went down because your healthcare is free. So where's the incentive in that? You know, the incentive to do a good job with the Hippocratic Oath is not always present in the medical field right now anyway. So there's just a lot of problems with communism, and I've never known a nation that has successfully assisted its people to live better lives because of it. Now, certainly we could learn from foreign affiliates, if you will, in the terms of healthcare. Japan has excellent healthcare, but it's a lot different than the United States. So, and we're just talking about cost. But part of the cost right now is because of that socialist ideal that you still have the right to go to the emergency room and seek help for whatever is wrong with you. And through some magical grant of the hospital, your visit is going to be taken care of. And often that is the case. So maybe not you specifically because you're utilizing your insurance or whatever, you're making payments on your bills, but there are a lot of people out there who have their bills written off. And that is part of the overwhelming cost right now. So where would that money come from for your free education and your free healthcare and all these freebs that you believe are your rights to have? It would come from higher taxes. So ultimately you have the right to pay 50% of your paycheck in taxes as well when you get that socialist reform. And once again, America is not a socialist nation, so it surprises me to see so many members on this list of National Council of Churches. And we're talking United Presbyterian Churches of the USA, Methodist Church, National Baptist Church, American Baptist Convention, Church of the Brethren, United Church of Christ. And then there's organizations as well, like the American Civil Liberties Union, American Council for Democracy of the Intellectual Freedom, American Committee for Presidential and Foreign Born, American Friends of Spanish Democracy. So many councils are listed on here. American League for Peace and Democracy, American Youth for Democracy, and it's all going back to democracy. It all leads back to this democratic socialist idealism that America should be run as a communist platform. And we simply do not have the capability to be a communist nation. We don't. Everything that you know and love would change. Our sovereign ability to regulate and choose for ourselves would change, because then, they're saying, okay, well, everybody has it, so now everybody has to have it. It's like the No Child Left Behind nonsense in school. I referred to that as every child kept behind. And ultimately, that's what it was. You have kids coming into third grade doing a first grade spelling list because English is not their first language, yet every child has a right within our classrooms to be on the same page. These other kids are doing first grade spelling lists in third grade because the teachers don't have any fight back against it because everything is regulated. So that might not be the case in every single institution, but a lot of the teachers today have to follow this standardized guideline. And when we pulled our daughter out and put her in the GATE class, which is Gifted and Talented Education, she excelled. And so by sixth grade, she was in class with other kids who were writing their daily journals in binary code and, making these nerdy little jokes that were just so adorable at the time. But it was great to see them blossom in their own element because they were being repressed, and these kids are good kids, but they're starting to act out because they're bored. And that's really what it comes down to. She was so bored that when we took her to the psychologist, because they were trying to tell us to put her on Ritalin and medicate her, and we refused. We knew that it wasn't that. And she was one of the youngest kids in her class, so she was a little fidgety. She was a busy little girl, but ultimately, when we took her and had her evaluated by the school district psychologist, he said, there's absolutely no way that your daughter can have ADHD because her intelligence score is so high. What I firmly believe is that she is just bored. You need to switch her academic curriculum and see how she changes. And we did, and it was a difference of night and day. And I'm so grateful that we didn't just listen to the teachers and put her on all these medications and drugs that numb her like a damn zombie. And then she would be far less educated because she would have been stuck back in that curriculum. But she skipped about a grade and a half. So when she was in sixth grade, she was using a seventh grade math book. And then when she got to seventh grade, she came home. She said, look, Mom, my math book is the same as last year. And I said, oh, no, that's not going to happen. You're not just going to take a repeat of the same class. You already know that, and she thought, oh, this is going to be a breeze for me, but so we got that taken care of, and she was in accelerated classes. And so it's good that those programs are there for kids to utilize these services to engage their own minds in free and critical thinking. So this is very, very important in terms of free and critical thinking amongst people who attend a church facility, who are listening to their respective clergymen up there at the pulpit preaching to them every single Sunday these ideals and these values that they believe they align with or adhere to for some reason because they're part of this social group. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it today. I didn't really mean to rant so much personally, but in relationship with what's going on in all branches of our national aspect and our public services, you can see examples of this socialism taking effect. But ultimately, it's going to hurt our country and it will cripple us. It will absolutely cripple us and be the downfall of our society if we are to become a socialist nation. It will not work in America. Absolutely will not work unless you want to start paying 50, 75, 80% of all of your paycheck in taxes, which is what we so strongly protest against. I see it as a counterproductive approach to national sovereignty and to our own ability to regulate ourselves and make our own decisions. So, all right, that's where I'm stopping. Thanks for joining me, and Just Christina signing out.